So I don't know if it's just me, but as a black woman, it's important for me to have a space where nobody else is included, right? And what does that mean for me? When it comes to my spirituality and how I view my goddess spirituality and how I engage with the goddesses, it's just us. Now, of course, we look at different factors of life and how other people can possibly play into those roles, but for the most part, it's like, well, no, if I don't want you there, then you're not going to be there. It's sort of like when, how can I use this as an example? If you have a black woman that's inside of a film, there's always going to be somebody else inside of that film that's going to represent themselves, right? And as a black woman, a black American woman at that, it's really important for me to create my own way of seeing things without anybody else being attached to it, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, and I'm trying to figure out how the best way to word this is sort of like, when you're a little kid, right? And you are having a dream and you wake up and you remember that dream and you're like, oh, I remember all of these beautiful things that I did. That's sort of like a memory in your mind that you want to reflect on if you're having a bad day or if things are not going the way that you want it to go. It's sort of like, and I know I say that I sort of like, that's me trying to explain the process. Um, when you have a great day as a kid, what does that look like for you? Because I've had several days like that growing up as a kid, right? You just wake up and it seems like everything's just perfect. And you take, how will I explain it? You take little bits and pieces of that and you bring it into each phase of your life. And I've been doing this ever since I was a kid, right? And so today it's easy for me to have a great imagination and to be able to figure certain things out because I rely on that type of energy from when I was a kid, right? Like, okay, things are not this way, but how would I write this as a story, as a book, or as a script? You know what I mean? What does that look like? And I always said this, and the goddesses also said this as well. The pictures of like the old school magical, like portraits and detailed, like different creatures and everything, it's really us, right? We are really the magical element of the earth, if that makes sense. So if you read any type of magical book, watch any type of magical film, understand the magical part is us, goddesses, black women. You understand what I'm saying? So, okay, really quickly so I won't forget. Now, when I was talking about creating your own space, right? We obviously know that we're going to have to interact with other people. That's not what I'm saying. When it comes to your own personal space and how that looks for you, right? Say if you are feeling magical one day, you can use that day in reference to every year celebrate that day as magical, right? I do this all the time. If you are, okay, like today is August 4th, 2025, right? So today was really nostalgic for me. So next year, I'm going to be looking for this type of energy next year. And it's probably going to be even more grand, right? But me understanding the energies and like what I'm feeling and just having all of these old memories pop up from my memory bank about my childhood, it's like, oh, I remember this, I remember that. And so that's how I can continue to manifest, if that makes sense. And it will continue to have momentum because this can be turned into a holiday if I wanted to, right? And I've done this before when it comes to goddess celebrations and doing rituals and everything. It has become like a new tradition for me, right? It may not mean anything else to anybody else and it's not supposed to, but for me, I know exactly what this energy is. This is how you start to pick up that momentum and create from that space. So it's sort of like, look, one more time. Friday the 13th, a lot of people seeing that as like, oh, it's a scary movie time and everything. No, Friday the 13th really represents witch's holiday, right? You can manifest on that day. You can get into your spell work on that day. And if you're working with the elements, earth, air, fire, water, of course, if you live in an area where you get a chance to experience like all of the different seasons, right? We're getting ready to go into fall. And so this is like spooky season, perfect time to get into your witchy practices. Look at some haunted houses, if you will, or, do some conjuring, right? Summoning the spirits, the goddesses, the animals, whatever you want. So